On today for Chilltime with Jose. We've got a few things to discuss. I think I discussed most of it in when the whole shit was going down with the coaches getting banned and stuff like that. And now we've got, well, more results, but we also do have some other stuff to talk about as well, like, Esic getting involved, people being stood down. I've actually got that tweet actually from the Dignitas team standing people down, which we're going to find now. And yeah, very, very interesting, all those things. And just gonna find the step downs at the moment. That's gonna be really, really difficult to find, given the fact that they did they've posted so much since then. So I'm trying to find. There we go, found it anyway. So we're gonna be talking all about that as well with the ESIC investigations as well. Anyways, let's get first things first. We talk about DreamHack Open, but anyways, let's just start it up. Welcome, guys, to Chilltime with Jose. I am your host, Jose. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Now, we got a lot of things on the agenda today. We got ESIC, we got Mountain Dew League, betting investigations. We also got it going into Valorant as well. We got a DreamHack. We got Obo leaving Complexity in the way he did. G2 trying to pick up Nico, and Dignitas. Well, they're losing. They're benching two of their players as well. And also, got a few other things around the scene as well. But first things first, let's get to Saw and Endpoint going through in DreamHack Open Fall. Earlier, I think Sprout and a few others went through as well. And, finally Endpoint get something done on the Road to Rio side. They'll be going to the DreamHack Open Fall 2020 event, which will be on, I believe, this weekend, I'm not terribly too sure. I do have the information here, but I'm not going to reveal it to you guys because I'm going to be a dead man if I do. But, that's a good start. I say great stuff for Endpoint and Saw. Great stuff for Saw as well, because Saw's been one of those teams where they've been looking at Saw for such a long time, to be that team, to be that top Portuguese team. The Portuguese fan base have been, saying that Saw's going to win a major and stuff like that for such a long time. And they, they're finally done. They finally got into a Road to Rio tournament. I think they've already been in one, but I'm trying to think about it. But I think they've already been in one, but it's just the way they got through it in the end by taking down Complexity Existence and then losing to Sprout. Now, so basically, the only thing of note that they did was snatching a victory against Vitality, and that's about it. And as you can see here, we got North, Sprout, Saw, Endpoint, and the last spots can be filled tonight. Okay, the last spots can be filled between, I think it's Mouse Sport and Movistar Riders. I suspect Movistar Riders can get knocked out, so Mouse Sports will take that final spot. I did cast a few of these games. I did enjoy the Mouse games that I did cast. I think it was Mouse v Endpoint, Mouse v Existence. And, hopefully, we can get another opportunity like that again where you can, cast some DreamHack close qualifiers on my channel. And, if we can cast the later ones as well. Now, I actually just realized when I was casting all those games that I think me and another dude and DMG were the only ones that weren't casting the event. Okay, because Yumi's casting the event, Vince is casting the event, La Fortune is not no, Seaside is not casting the event. Okay, that's interesting. Or Screams, Screams and La Fortune aren't casting the event, so that's a bit weird actually. I was going to say that we were like the only ones that didn't cast the actual close qualifiers. I think Vince was the only one in the end, and I kind of enjoyed it. Like I was that's odd. Is someone talking chat, or is my chat busted? I'm not terribly too sure. Okay, now my chat's fixed again. But yeah, I was quite surprised that a lot of people who were casting their main event were also casting the closed qualifiers, because usually it's not the case. Usually people who do cast the main event may cast a closed qualifier here and there, and then don't cast anything else. And that was good to see. I think we had 4 casters or 5 casters in the event that weren't casting the actual event themselves, and that was pretty fun to watch as well. It was pretty fun to watch. I didn't watch many of the other games. I think I only watched. I watched one yesterday. I think it was at 1 a.m. And that's about it. I'm trying to think of the game that I watched, but it doesn't matter too much. At the end of the day, it was very, very fun to cast, and I'm actually a bit surprised at some of the results. I'm actually a bit surprised that Mouse Sports actually lost to Endpoint. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought I was going to be casting Mouse Sports v Endpoint, and then Endpoint versus whoever lost in the second round, which is existence in the end. I never imagined I'd thought I'd be casting mouse sports twice. So that was really, really fun to do. And the endpoint game was really, really good for my viewership because I saw my viewership, I think it was like going up to like 4K, and I'm just like, okay, just keep casting. And eventually went up to 6K in the end. And that's like kind of insanity for a close qualifier game to get that much viewership. Normally, they only get like, 200, 300 viewers, and that's about it. And they don't get anything higher than it. And I remember back in the old days when I used to cast stream at close qualifiers and open qualifiers with no open IP, and you didn't get anyone. Like, even in the final, which is the close qualifiers, there's probably more people in the demo than actually watching the streams in the end. Anyways, g'day, bro. So, dude, hope you're having a good day so far. And, hope you're having a wonderful time. So next up we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the most ironic thing that has ever happened in an event ever. MIBR. When will you guys stop eating crow? Okay, that's all I'm going to say. When will you stop eating crow? Because they continuously eat crow as MIBR has been replaced by Chaos. In the I am Intel Extreme Masters of New York. I delight in the irony. I literally delight in the irony. This is like 100% deserved after they cheated. Their coach cheated. 100% deserved. What's this about? Oh, it's about the news that's in CSGO, 3 letters. At the moment we're talking about the first part, the MIBR being replaced by Chaos. Probably the greatest humble pie smashings I have ever seen from a TO inviting Chaos over MIBR. Well, not really, but MIBR being disqualified, as you guys may have known. And as you guys can see here, at the MIBR, and MIBR replaced by Chaos. And the thing is that Chaos gonna have MCE in as a stand-in, okay? Because Marky's already locked. Like, the roster lock's already occurred, so they can't have Marky in. Set up MCE, okay? MIBR fans molding, dude. Like, this is like deserved. Like, this is 100% deserved. After like the amount of like accusations at Leaf and Zephyr for cheating, like, how didn't they see this coming? Like, honestly, how didn't they see this coming? When an inkling that they may cheat, and as you can see, Dead was causing a spectator bug while coaching MIBR in the SO1 Road to Rio and CS Summit, not to mention Dead's banned from both tournaments, just in case you guys are wondering. And also Fur and Taco are currently serving a 6-month ban and will not be allowed to play the next 2 events. Wait, what, really? When did they get banned by Esic? By 6 months? Okay, yeah, they're dead. And, that's pretty much it. They deserve more, but it's good for now. To be fair, this is just a humble pie they do deserve. In the end, it's quite... I just delight in the irony, okay? I really, really delight in the irony of MIBR being knocked out like this. So basically, they asked a few other teams as well, and, basically, everyone else has decided to go against it, and, so there's a few things as well. They've been invited to the tournament. Swaptron, already announced they won't be taking part due to be, with Whippy, Swisher. Like, a lot of these teams that can't take part in it at the moment, well, go say now, like, they've changed their roster since then. And this has become a bit of an issue as well in CSGO, especially for the major, is that the roster locks, I'm going to tell you guys now, the roster locks for these 2 events are completely different. Like, the close qualifier had I think there's a later roster lock, but the actual major had an earlier roster lock. So you could actually play a person in the close qualifier. Like, let's say, for example, Genji, they could play Daps. But in the actual event, they couldn't play Daps because the roster lock was earlier. It's kind of a bit silly, actually. Like, really, really silly. Where, a person can play in the close qualifiers, but they can't play in the thing. It's kind of random with the major or something like that. It was something like that where, like, a few players couldn't play in the actual event, but they could play in the qualifier, which is like, okay, what's up? But I think that was being fixed about it. I won't be surprised if they do change it in the end. It was something to do with Valve and ESL rules clashing. But anyways, that's going to be pretty much it with this. But my only story with this is with MIBR, getting replaced by Chaos. Like, that's the only meme I've got here. My favorite, my favorite part, they deserve 100%. The amount of Brazilian fans that have been harassing non-stop and, like, Gaules and stuff like that, harassing, all the Chaos fans. it's just the mea culpa that they deserve at this point. It's the fucking mea culpa they deserve, because you can't act like this is a fan base. You can't act like this like players. You can't act like it's like a caster and just be a complete arsehole to one team and accuse them of hacking without any actual substantial proof, okay? And, you get what you get. And now MIBR has fallen apart. Basically the orgs had enough. Basically cut a lot of the players, and then the team didn't like it. The team's like, no, we should have kept the teams. Like, dude, you guys have been having really subpar results for the last 6 months. I think every org would have had enough and may have cut the cord by then. Okay, just cut the cord, cut you guys out, and build it around another team. And basically, they also turned on Gaules as well for some reason. I have no idea why they turned on Gaules. He's like being their biggest supporter. Like, dude, like I can tell you now, MIBR have not won an event for quite a long time. I think it might be time to cut the cord and rebuild. Okay, like I just don't get it when players get upset at the org when they know damn well that they're not performing as they want to, as they need to. Like they can't go, oh, we've won these events. You haven't won any events. Like the last few events, you've lost to Wiz Like a Cow, you've lost to the Copenhagen Flames. It's you can't be losing to like a lot of these tier 2 teams that you're probably expected to beat. Like when an org goes into an event like Malta Vibes, for example, for a warm-up tournament, they probably expect MIBR to win the entire tournament given the opposition that they are facing. And the fact that MIBR didn't even get to the grand final, they were knocked out. It's like, that's not good enough. And I'm not surprised that MIBR split up or the org had enough. Like, what more do you want? Like, do you want I think MIBR want to be repping a team that's in tier 1. Like, I think the Mortals brand, when they bought MIBR back, they wanted a team in tier 1. They didn't want a team in tier 2 or tier 3. If they wanted that, they could just stay in Brazil. But anyways, that's about it for that subject. And I feel like, for like Fallen, Taco, and all that stuff, they gotta really like take a hard look at themselves as players, because they're losing to teams they shouldn't be losing to. Any speculation on who the remaining C9 players are, I have no idea. They haven't released anything, and I haven't got any indication on who they are either, because there's no ESA roster with Cloud9 in it, and I don't think anyone's going to break the news anyway, and they've been very, very good at keeping it very, very secretive as well. That kind of thing. And I think Cloud9 will have enough money to, not enough money, sorry, not enough clout or some kind of way like influence to tell people to not actually report on it or leak it. My idea on the players they would be looking to pick up. Do you know Mezzy has the Quake keybinds? No, I did not. It's been a long time since I played Quake, actually. I don't even know what the keybinds are. But my speculation is they've got the AWPer. It won't be Obo. Like, everyone's going to be like, Obo, it's Obo, it's Obo. I'm like, oh, dude, like, the kid wants to go back to North America. He doesn't want to be in fucking Europe, where Cloud9 is at the moment. So we've got Alex, Mezzy, and Woxic. And I don't think they'll need another AWPer. So I think there'll be, like, 2 riflers. Like, they've got the IGL, they've got the AWPer. Pretty much at this point, you can just like, go for, like, pure firepower. And you'll be, like, literally fine. M2 to move forward, space to scope, etc. Interesting. So I'm trying to figure out, who would Cloud9 pick up in the EU scene. That I'm going to say now is either a free agent, because that's the main thing. They're going to be free agent, or they're going to be affordable as well. They could probably pick some players off at, FaZe, because FaZe are falling apart. There's a few players who are currently free agents at the same time, but, I'm not really too sure what they're going to pick up. There was Oscar, but he's gone into a different team. I'm trying to think of the other players as well. But yeah, I'm not totally too sure who Cloud9 are going to pick up. They've got the money, I know that much. Like, they're not going to pick up Obo. I'm just trying to think. Maybe pick up Flames from Endpoint, but I'm not sure if they can offer the money to take out Flames, or Endpoint, if Endpoint's going to accept it or not, because Endpoint can decline the offer because Flames is signed to Endpoint. And I think Endpoint do need Flames. No, they actually don't need Flames, actually, because they've got enough players to play 8 games already. Even with Thomas gone. I'm trying to think, who would I pick up? It's a tough one. There's Flames to come onto the scene. They're actually looking at probably the younger players who, are having a bit of a spark at the moment. HS could go as far as a tier 1 team and needs a free agent. Yeah, that's right. HS is on the roster as well. Um, Would Alex like a really, really aggressive rifle like HS? You never know, actually. I've been talking about HS though. Like, I'm a bit sad, as you guys may see highlighted actually when I go to the next article, because HS is out of Nordavin now, and he is a very good player. Like, I did enjoy watching him play in Mountain Dew League. He's a very, very aggressive rifler, and he's fun to watch. He's like super, super, great with aim. His only big weakness is that if you lure him into being aggressive, you can essentially crossfire him and annihilate him really quickly. But he's just such a great player on any sort of round, either it's gonna be pistols or rifles. He'll net you about 1 or 2 kills. And yeah, basically HS left Nordavin, kind of reminded him of Tempo Storm, he said, that wasn't getting anywhere, and he's 23. He's a bit frustration, dysfunctional lineup wasn't cool. And you can see here, basically, Nordavin's now basically a Norwegian and Danish team with Tensky, Harry, Kroman, and Rixo. It's a bit sad how this team has kind of fallen apart. I did enjoy this roster when they had Holzerk in the lineup. Holzerk, Rubinho, Kroman, Tensky, and stuff like that, the old lineup. But in the end, they brought in HS because Holzerk went elsewhere, and Rubinho got injured in the end, so they had to bring in Safix. But it kind of sucks that this, how it ends up this way. Chroma's pretty sick too. Yeah, of course. Like, the lineup, the original lineup, which was Holzerk, Rubino, Kroman, Harry, who was it? Tensky. That was a sick lineup. Like, that was a really, really good lineup. That was like absolute killer lineup with Rubino. It was like, there's Rubino, Tensky, Holzerk. Fuck, I'm trying to remember the other players. I just can't. And there's Kroman as well. And I think Harry's the last one. That was a really good lineup. Like, they went undefeated and advanced with that lineup. And it kind of sucks that they're falling apart now. Like, it's a bit of a bummer that they went, I'm not sure what went on there, but it's a bit of a bummer that this experiment may fall apart. Because Native Safix is now, a free agent. He might be picked up by Cloud9. He's another one as a free agent. And Native Safix is a very, very good AWPer as well. And a rifler and a very, very good clutch player as well. I'm not sure if HS is good friends with him. If they do, if they do end up like going together, like if they're still, what do you call it, like still buddy or anything like that, or how Native Safix left the team, I'm not entirely too sure. But I assume they're on good terms, because I think Native Safix left on good terms as well. So that could be the next 2 line will be HS and Native Safix, but I'm not sure what Henry G is up to at the moment. That's my opinion. I'm not sure what Henry G is up to. Next up, we got probably the most depressing one I've ever seen, is Obo stepping down from Complexity, okay? And I can imagine poor Jason Lake, because Jason Lake was really, really upset in his press conference on his channel about Obo benching himself and wanting to return to North America, which is really, really sad for Complexity, given the fact they were getting so close on becoming a juggernaut, okay? Obo going to Gen G? He could, but I think he might go to a better NA team, in my opinion. I think he might go to, he could even go to Liquid, actually. He could go to Triumph. Like, with Obo, sky's the limit for him. Like, sky is the absolute limit for him, because he's a proven playmaker at 17 years of age. You don't see many proven playmakers at 17 years of age, guys. You don't see it at all. Like, a player that can turn the game on its head. And, I feel like Obo can, sky's the limit for him in NA. And yeah, poor Obo, Complexity. And yeah, he was returning home, really sad. And then they had Keita stand in as a replacement, which is the coach. And yeah, what I'm gonna say here, it just it's really, really sad. Like, the kid was homesick, like really, really homesick from NA. He's basically said they were staying in from hotel to hotel kind of thing, and he kind of missed his family as well. Like, a lot of people criticize like the kid as well. I was like, dude, the kid's like fucking 17. Like, the kid's not even fucking drinking age yet. Like, it's, it's kind of going through a time of his life where, it is pretty rough. Like, it is, his parents can't come over and stuff like that. Like they can't fly to America and stuff like that to say hi or anything like that because of COVID-19. And like a lot of people even having it right now when they're in fucking isolation, not isolation. It's not isolation. What's it called? Lockdown or whatever it is. And people are having it pretty rough already in like a lot of cities, especially people in like Melbourne, for example. Like people are like getting super upset about it as well. Like they're not faring too well through it. So I would imagine that that Obo wouldn't be going through the same thing, considering the fact that he's probably only talking to his family via Skype. He's in a hotel with the rest of his team and stuff like that. Probably even talk to him about it as well. I would imagine that Rush and the others have been very, very like comforting of him, especially Rush as well, considering Rush is also from NA and he's also been traveling around as well. But it's really sad. Like I can feel for Jason Lake because Jason Lake they won Blast with Obo, and it's gonna be very, very hard to find Obo's replacement. Like it's not gonna be too easy to find Obo's replacement for Complexity, given the fact that they do have to find a replacement very quickly, considering the ESL Pro League deadline is coming up too, and they need to find a replacement. And there's obviously a lot on the block. There's also Safix, there's also HS. There's a lot of European players that are currently on the free agency list as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Complexity just pick up NATO Safix at this point, or not or HS, something like that. Someone who is a somewhat great rifler, because they do have everything else. Everything else is there. Rush being the more experienced player. You got they're just missing a playmaker, I suppose. But I'm just not too sure if they're going to give it to a young fragger or something like that will make the trip to Europe. Like they can't really go to NA and have to really just go into Europe. I'm trying to think who they could even get at this stage. Maybe Tezes is locked up at Heroic. I'm trying to think of like players. Olaf Meister is far beyond the hill at the moment, so he's not going to get out of FaZe. Might be able to get Rain from FaZe actually, because Rain's very good. But I don't think you can get anyone out of FaZe, to be honest. Like, it's going to be very, very difficult. And I bet FaZe will make you pay contract price knowing FaZe's management, okay? They'll probably force contract price before the player can walk. But it's a sad tale, though. Like, kid's 17. It's kind of a similar thing, I'm trying to think of the other teams that have the issue. It's probably kind of similar for the teams in NA, especially during Flashpoint. And especially for Heroic, because when Hashtag left Heroic, and the entire Fun Plus Phoenix kind of thing fell through, like where Heroic tried to sell their team to Fun Plus Phoenix. At the part of Flashpoint, I bet Heroic don't regret not selling their team now, considering they're playing a lot better CS. And, even though they had Hunden as coach, and then Hunden got, basically, let's just say he got kicked out because of cheating with the coach bug. But, it's been going pretty well so far. Heroic's actually going pretty well as well. They've won one of their first tournaments in quite a while. And, it's good to see. Very, very good to see from Heroic. Now, the problem is now Hunden's got himself banned for a very long time because of the coach bug. And there's been a lot of memes. I actually saw one of the memes, which was, what was it? Oh, man. It was a meme about, telling Hunden, don't sell, don't go, don't leave Mad Lions, keep this team together. And that's one of the memes. I think it's a time travel meme. The girls who, I'm your granddaughter, has got guys, don't leave this team. Talking to Hunden. It's pretty humorous. But anyways, guys, next up we're going to get Mezzy joining Cloud9, talk about Cloud9, and talk about Mezzy. Okay, so Mezzy joining Cloud9. They disclosed his salary. He's getting paid quite a bit. Cloud9's also got Kazard as coach. That's going to be a good thing, by the way. They also picked up Woxic from Mouse Sports, as Woxic benched himself. Now, I do not understand this. Basically, there's a lot of criticism around Mezzy. Like, there was a Reddit thread saying that Mezzy is absolute garbage and that Mezzy wouldn't fit well in Cloud9 and Mezzy will never make him tier 1. And I'm sitting there going like, you fucking serious? Like, someone actually put on that phone, I'm like, dude, do you watch Mount Dew League? Like, do you? Because that's what I have to say. I'm like, how do do you watch Mount Dew League? Do you watch Messi play? Like, in Gamer Legion, Messi was probably one of the big players in Gamer Legion. Like, he won a lot of games off his back. 300 IQ bind. Let's see, shift walk, jump, left, right. Space back. Dude, what are those key binds? Yeah, I'm going to agree with Reckless there. What are those key binds? If you guys are wondering, Messi's key binds is like W shift walk, A is jump, S and D is left and right, mouse 2 is forward, space is back, C is crouch, scope is M5. Dude, that's gonna be beyond 300 IQ. I don't know how you can play with that, to be honest. But Messi's joined Cloud9. They acquired the 21-year-old for 83,000. He's probably gonna be on a decent initial salary given Cloud9, and his contract's worth about 426,000 of over 3 years. He'll finish out the month playing with Gamer Legion. Why is jump throw? Ooh, I remember that bind for a long time. I think a lot of the CSGO players do have the jump throw macro now to jump and throw the nades. Now, this seems like a good thing for me, of course, a good thing for Messi. And, well, all I'm going to say for Messi is that he's an incredible talent. I remember when Gamer Legion beat, what was the team they beat 16-14 on Overpass? I think it was Pact, actually, where I think it was Era and Messi. I think it was a 2v4 retake. And I think it was Era gave Messi a boost, and Messi got a quick 2k, made it a 1v2 for Era, because in the end, Messi got traded out. But Messi snapped and killed 2 people very quickly. Era did pick off another player as well, Water, with quick scope, and then it was a 1v1 versus Manias and Era won in the end. But that execute was not going to be done without the boost and the Messi initial 2 kills. Against G2, I don't think it was against G2, it was in Mount Dew League, okay? It was in Mount Dew League. It was against, I think it was against Pact, where Messi was like able to clutch out a 2v4 for Era, and it was a very, very good play by Messi. And Messi's impressed a lot. Like, Messi's rating at the moment as well is about 1.1, which is incredibly high. Like, incredibly high. And, he's definitely performed well. He's beaten a few teams as well. Been getting quite close in in the MDL. And yeah, also who else they can get as well. So as you can see there, been pretty close in the MDL. So you guys can see here, I've been looking through his stats. But that's the stats right there. And he's a fairly decent player. And I was actually a bit surprised because even some of the feels bad for Zero and Gamer Legion killing Messi. Yeah, of course, it is really bad for Gamer Legion to lose Messi, but at the way that Messi was playing, I think Gamer Legion at the back of their heads knew that contract was going to get bought out. Like, they knew that contract was going to be bought out. I don't think they're going to, really try and keep him, given the scenario that, he's a very talented player. Like, you got to realize, when you got playmakers in your team that are a lot better than the rest of your team, you got to have tier 1 teams scoping those players out, okay? It's going to be very, very hard to keep those players in the teams, unless the player wants to do so, because that player, that really, really good player, wants to go to the next level as well. And it's so hard to keep some of these players. Messi, for example, your Obo, for example, would have been the same thing as well. That would have been really, 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 really hard to stop a tier 1 team from swiping it up. I mean, look at Prosto, for example. They lost Yakinda to Virtus Pro, okay? Basically, when Buster or Keycurt benched himself, immediately Virtus Pro went snooping around Yakinda, and Prosto can't do anything about it because Prosto is a small org, and they know Yakinda, basically the moment that Virtus Pro need a player, they're going to be looking around the other teams in Mount Dew League and picking them up. And that's what happened there. Basically Yakinda was picked up pretty easily. But anyways, guys, we get to the next part, which is going to be G2, looking for Nico. So, yeah, Nico could be linking up with his cousin, I believe. I forget who his cousin is. Bugger. But anyway, Nico is weighing up his future to leave FaZe. And I'm going to say now, I'm not sure how FaZe are going to have a roster with no Nico, to be honest. Not sure. That team seems like a team of individuals at the moment. I said this from the start that, they look like a team of individuals. Hunter, that's right. I was thinking Nexa for some reason, but I'm like, it's not Nexa. It has to be Hunter. But yeah, I thought this will be a good fit for G2. Obviously, great fit for G2. I'm not sure who will replace. Probably gonna say Amanek is probably gonna get the chop. I reckon, as it says in the article. For FaZe, I have no idea who they're going to pick up, or if that lineup's going to exist. Like, they've got Brokey in that team. Maybe they can go for Broke and, like, just kick Olaf and kick Cold Zero, maybe. Or actually, no, keep Brokey, keep maybe Cold Zero. And I'm not sure who else to kick off. But actually, no, kick Cold Zero, kick Brokey. Not Brokey. I'm not even sure at the moment. Let me get my mind straight on who to kick. But not MIBR, FaZe could probably, kick Olaf, kick Cold Zero, and build a roster around Rain and Brokey, considering they're probably the very good players in FaZe at the moment, and try to pick up an IGL to put them around it as well, and put some young guys as riflers, because at the moment, like, Olaf's completely over the hill. Like, he hasn't gone back to the old Olaf since his Fnatic days. He's not performing that well. Second part is that Cold Zero has seemingly been a kind of a failed experiment at FaZe, and I don't think they can build a team around him. Rain has been very, very consistent in FaZe. He's been the unsung hero. He's been the guy that does a lot of the work, but he's not, highly praised for it. And Brokey's been a star whopper for FaZe, and a big, big pickup for FaZe, actually. Like, you'd never think that, Brokey would have been this star AWPer that they picked up at the start. Like, during that time, it was just basically FaZe going for Broke and just basically recruiting anyone. And Brokey has been a big, big, shining light for them as well. And I'm actually really, really impressed with Brokey. And I think they can probably build a team around Brokey. But I'm not totally too sure FaZe will want to, though, given that Dignitas occurred. Like, you got to remember that Dignitas also occurred. And Dignitas tried to build an entire team around Hulzerk, and that hasn't succeeded so far. As we get to the next article, which is going to be talking about that, where they bench Get Right and Exist. Now, I can understand why they bench Exist, okay? Because Exist, well, I could tell you guys from the start that Exist, like, I'm not too sure about Exist, okay? Let's just be real, okay? I am not too sure about Exist at all, okay? And I'm sitting there going like, Exist hasn't been playing well as an in-game leader. He's been a bit off the boil. I did cast in Dignitas for LDLC, where LDLC won 2-0, and it just seemed a bit behind him. Get Right was playing serviceable. He wasn't playing great, but he was playing well. And I understand Exist. I 100% understand why he's benched. I kind of don't understand Get Right on why he's benched. Because Get Right is playing alright, okay? Like, Freiburg, I can tell you now, if you want to look at the Dignitas lineup on teams that players are playing worse, Freiburg was playing worse than Get Right. And I don't know why Get Right gets the chopping block first. Considering that Get Right is probably the biggest icon in that team, and probably brings more in by being in the team than his ability to play. Because of his, streaming and stuff like that, where, he can go into Flom's stream and basically Dignitas stuff everywhere, essentially. Like, he can, promote himself and stuff like that. It's a marketing team. Yeah, that's what people thought as well, Processor. And then they bench Get Right and Exist and wanting to play better. Like, it's like people were like, okay, I thought this team was just a meme team about marketing. Then they released a tweet like this, saying that, we want to get, better fans' expectations. It's just like, what? Like, what? If you're a marketing team, why do you want results? Get Right official 5th for Mythic Inc. Dude, that could happen. They could replace Davey. Sorry, Davey, if you're watching. That'd be funny, though. Davey replaced by Get Right. Oh, feels Davey, man. I can meme Dave at this point. Maybe. I'm not terribly too sure, but I just understand it from Dignitas. I'm sitting there going like, dude, if your main guy who's bringing you merch sales will be Get Right 100%. But, I guess they want to be competitive. G'day, Netic. Hope you're having a good day, my dude. Remember Get Right to Cloud9 was a thing for a while? Dude, Get Right is in NA, isn't he? Oh, no, Dignitas is an EU team. Sorry, I forgot about that. Dignitas is an EU team because Hulzerk. I thought they did move to NA, but I don't think Dignitas did in the end. They were hinting at moving to NA. Dude, I'm not doing push-ups at the moment. Considering I'll be playing Among Us after this. Even before Katie gets poached and Get Right joins Mythic. Dude, I think Flom and Get Right, they could probably bring a lot of new faces to the NA scene, to the MDL scene as well. They could revitalize it. No, this happened last time. Danny G actually did your push-ups last time. How it was the end of MDL? I actually stopped the ad. I actually stopped the ad, man. I actually stopped the ad and did the push-ups. Like, you know how after the game, you know how I did the ads, you put your 10 push-ups in? I actually did it, like, I actually stopped the ads and then did the push-ups and put the ad back on. I called you some bad things the other day. I feel really bad. Okay. I think you're banned for a reason, but I'm not terribly too sure. Sure. But I can check it out. Like, I've got chat logs. Johnny can probably check out the chat logs. I'll just give him the name. But, you know, anyway. A bit puzzled. Like, very, very puzzled about this. Still super puzzled. Really confused about this. I can understand why Exist was benched. Because I'm going to say now, I think Exist is a bit off the boil. And I don't understand why Get Right was placed. Like, everyone said that, like, if you look at the rating, like, I think Get Right's rating is slightly better than Freiburg. And everyone's like, why not Freiburg, you know? Why not Freiburg? It was super confusing. But, yeah, you know. What can you do? I'm not sure why Get Right was placed. And Get Right has been very, very active on his streaming lately. He's also been casting with Flom as well in the DreamHack, you know, open fall. So, yeah. He could be going for his health issues. Wait, Get Right has health issues? In before, this is the first time I've ever heard about this, okay? I know Rubinho has ongoing wrist issues, and I feel bad for him. Like, Rubinho's got to be one of the most unluckiest players I've ever seen. But we'll see. But then we get to the next part, okay? Yeah, he's in and out of doctors and all the time. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's not good. Oh, no. If it's Crohn's. Oh, God. So you got Esic, okay? So, NA MDL match fixing. Apparently that's going on. Got 15 investigations. They are going to release the preliminary reports on the 28th. I believe. There's 15 ongoing investigations. And this dropped at the start of the month. And, well, there's been a few rumblings about it. And, you know, we can't name names. We don't know what's going on. There's allegations around. He does have Crohn's, I'm pretty sure. Well, Crohn's is absolute oof. And yeah, there's been a few allegations here and there. Zelsis actually said a few names on his stream. I'm not going to repeat them because, you know, we got no evidence. We're not judge, jury, and executioner here. There's been a lot of, like, people suspecting that a lot of the people who moved into Valorant, like some of those people there, were involved. I don't know. So, you know, that sort of thing. And, you know, I'm not sure what's going to occur. You know, I'm not sure what's going to occur there. I assume, like, you know, some of the players that already have been, yeah, is Crohn's. Oh, dude, Crohn's is utter hell to deal with, okay? Like, my older brother has Crohn's, and it was really hard to deal with him at the start. It's calmed down a lot now. But, like, before, like, when he got diagnosed with it, it was just absolute pain for him. Absolute pain. But, you know, it's calmed down a lot for him now. He also had to have a colonoscopy and stuff like that. But, you know, that sort of thing. G'day, D. What's up? Next up but not least is basically... I probably shouldn't reveal the next tweet. I think I should probably go to the next one. But there's been a few players that used to play in Mount Dew League were removed from Dignitas. You guys can check it out there. I'm not sure if it's related or not at all. Like, I'm not sure at all if it's related. It can be, it can't be, not entirely too sure. And, you know, basically, they were some of the names that were said. You know, I'm not going to say their names, stuff like that, because I don't want to, like, you know, precursor the case of anything like that. But that's what's been said. You know, those are the players that apparently, allegedly participated in it. But that's about it. And Esic are going to solve this one up. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get to the clip of the week. I know it hasn't been a very energetic episode today, but I don't know. I feel a bit of a wave of tiredness. But we're going to go to the clip of the week, okay? And I got to tell you guys now, okay? This is my top clip now, okay? This is my top clip that is viewed, okay? Which is basically 2 seconds since I've maximized it. Going to move it way to the right. But yeah, like, this is my top clip now in my stream. Because I was, like, sitting there going, like, what the fuck's this? And, you know. So this is the unfortunate part, okay? This is the part where he knew he fucked up the boost, okay? Rox jumps up. Oh, no. No, not like that. You know the worst part about this thing as well? He lost the only AK. The only AK they had. and he lost it. But that's the clip of the week here. Like, the clip of the week is just humorous. It's on Reddit. It's like one of the parts that's top of Reddit when he just does that. No, not like that. Not like that. That's what they didn't want, and now they've maybe have given it away. Working though. Oh man, I know it's really, really quiet, but it's intentional. But dude, that is just the heartbreak, man. You can see the heartbreak here. Where he misses the jump. Like, that's heartbreak territory. He just knows he's dead. Death. You know that as death, indeed. And yeah, at 13-13 in Eco, you know they ended up winning that map, by the way. You know the funny thing is, Mouse ended up winning that map. They won 16-14 on Vertigo. It was actually quite funny. They actually won the map in the end, even though they stuffed up that. Feels bad having played a BO3 marathon and playing another free map, and that sucks. Well, dude, I gotta say now, don't lose your BO3s, okay? Like, it's kind of their fault at the end of the day. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for Chilltime with Jose for today. I will be playing some Among Us shortly. And, you know, if you guys enjoyed the commentary and the news, down is going to be a subscribe button and all the links that you can follow me on my socials. So see you guys for now, and I'll get to some Among Us potentially.